So, good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Muhammad Al-Ashtar, and this is a course on academic research, session 4. Today, we will discuss a kind of one of the best research topics that's called an APA citation and formatting. And more specifically, we'll discuss an APA student paper sample analysis number 1. So, in this session, basically, I will show you how to structure an APA style on your research paper, how to follow a precisely accurate an APA formatting for your research paper. And you have to follow it in this way. So just one moment, please. So dear students, as you can see here, that we have a student's paper that's entitled Branching Paths, a Novel Teacher Evaluation Model for Faculty Development. This is one of the examples I'd like just to share it with you today. Maybe in the upcoming sessions, we would like to share some topics on linguistics and maybe on literature. So today is just like, we can say, an ice-breaking session that paves the way for much more understanding of the APA style. As you can see here, the green box and the blue box. The green box here, all green text boxes contain explanations of APA 7th paper formatting guidelines. And you know that the documentation, formatting, and style followed is an APA, among many, in fact, but we follow an APA 7th edition. Okay, we discussed this in the previous session. While the blue text boxes contain directions for writing and citing in APA style. So we have two different kinds of things. If you remember very well, when you go back to the previous session, you'll find out that the session was classified into two sections. Section number 1 is about an APA paper formatting, and the second one is was about the in-text citations, how to follow the in-text citations using the APA style. Very great. So one of the most crucial points is that here there are no running heads on your paper at all. You don't need to include anything here. Just try to just indicate your title, as you can see here. Branching Paths, a Novel Teacher Evaluation Model for Faculty Development. This is the research topic. This is the research title. So the title should be centered here, should be bold, unwritten in title case. It should be 3 or 4 lines below the top margin here, as you can see. So you can just give many spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, using the space bar, say, on your keyboard. In this sample paper, we have put 3 blank lines above the title anyway. So you can just practice this using your keyboard, right? So your title should be placed right here. Okay. And later, one of the significant things is that it should include the page numbers. Page numbers should begin on the first page, follow on every subsequent page without interruption. So you should just give page number 1, as you can see here, and this will generate automatically for the subsequent pages without any interruption. So please do not include any other information like author's last name and so on and so forth. So let's move on. As you can see, also, you should write your name here. Let's say James P. Davis and Ann G. Noor. Let's say Muhammad Qasim Zboon, for instance. All right, you should write your name, I mean the author's name, the researcher's name here. And the Department of English, Purdue University. This is a research sample from Purdue University, that's why I use it. for an APA documentation style. So this is the, let's say, the subject symbol is given English. We don't have such kind of things. In fact, should include also the course name, and you should also include the supervisors, and also the date. So the authors' names, I will give you some notes. The authors' names appear 2 lines below the title, as you can see, 1 line, 2 lines. So we have here, should you place your the author's name right below your title, okay? So they should be written as this way: first name, middle, maybe initial, and last name. Or maybe most of the times we write the first and the last name, surname. But in our cases, in our culture, as far as culture is concerned, you should write your full name. Okay. And authors' affiliations follow immediately after the names. Affiliation means institution, مؤسسة يعني. Okay. Maybe departments and so on and so forth. So and also, what you should include is the assignment's due date. Okay, I mean the submission date. And this is the standardized way to create your first research paper. Your first page in your research paper. And this is very easy, I think, right? Great. So let's move on. Second page. As you can see, after the first title page comes the abstract page. And the word abstract here should be centered, should be placed in the center of the page and bolded. Should be centered and bolded. And this is very important. You should remember. Okay? And also remember that no running head appears on students' papers. Don't include anything here, your name or the research title. We don't need it at all. But the page number should be continually, let's say, generated throughout your research paper. And as you can see here, the whole abstract page go like this. Okay, I will just show you. So the main paragraph of your abstract here should not be indented. As I told you that we have different types of paragraphs. We have informative abstracts, and we have descriptive abstracts. And the choice depends on your research purpose, your research intent. Okay? هذا يعتمد طبعا اختيار الابستراكت سواء كان descriptive or informative. We talked about this. And you should not indent this. Just write it just one block without any indentation. بالابستراكت ما نحتاج شويه انه تعطون مجال هنا مسافه. No, it should be one block, should be written in one block. And also one significant note that abstract should not contain citations of other works. Okay, if you intend to refer to any other work in your abstract by, for instance, mentioning the authors in the text, that's enough. So we don't need to include citations here. طبعا وضحت في المحاضرة السابقة أنه الابstract should summarize the whole research. You don't need to include any, let's say, any citations of other works. Okay. As you can see here, طبعا one of the reasons is that the abstract should be uniquely original, should be uniquely created using your own words and style. You should indicate what is going to be discussed in your research paper. That's why we don't need, at least this time, we don't need to include authors, let's say, citations here, authors' works here. But it's okay, it's enough if you would like to include some name of the authors and so on and so forth, as indicated. Just like the main innovation of this instrument relative to traditional sets is that it employs a branching tree structure populated by binary choice items based on the empirically derived binary choice boundary definition EBB scale developed by Turner and APA, right? You can see here that the author has just mentioned the names of the author without mentioning the date of publication, let's say, pages and so on and so forth. So the main reason is that he would like just to emphasize on some important concepts. يعني هو يريد يركز على مفاهيم معينة داخل الابستراكت، لذلك لا بأس انه يذكر بعض المؤلفين، يعني بعض المؤلفين في هذا الجانب. واضح له؟ لا يعني ما يحتاج يذكر سنة او يسوي اقتباس وينزله بالابستراكت. No. Okay, هذا المعنى right? And also one of the most important things is that you should also include some keywords. Keywords, the major concepts that are going to be discussed in your research paper, which are considered the core, the foundations, okay, the research core. Then, so as indicated here, you should follow the abstract with a selection of keywords that describe the important ideas or subjects in your paper. These help online readers search for your paper in database. This is the main reason why you should include your keywords. يسمونها الكلمات المفتاح, right? يعني the main focus of this research is about college teaching, student evaluations of teaching, skill development, EPB scale, pedagogies, and so on. That's why. Okay. So as we indicated earlier, an abstract summarizes your main points of the paper that follows it.
دكتور بس الصورة كبر لنا ما جاي نشوفها.
يا صورة؟
مالت الكونتنت مالت المحتوى.
شلون ليش ما تشوفونها؟
يعني أصل.
Okay, so also you should remember that an abstract should يعني limiting the length of abstract, or the abstract length should not be determined by APA style. This depends, as I told you before. And generally, abstract do not exceed 250 words, sometimes 300. And this depends on, as I told you before, on your research purpose. And so for every academic journals have its own rules and restrictions on how long your abstract should be. طبعا هذا يعتمد انه المجلات الأكاديمية إذا تريد مثلا بالمستقبل تنشر. This depends on the requirements of this journal. كل journal لها البوليسي مالتها، تقول لك يابا أنا أريد الابستراكت ما تزيد عن 100 كلمة، عن 50 كلمة، عن 30 كلمة. Okay, this is their policy. So you have to follow. And of course, and this totally depends on your research purpose, as I told you, and how far it goes. in order to give, let's say, further explanations for the reader, that you satisfy the reader's needs, let's say. Okay. Again, page number 3 here, we have put the title bolded and centered and above the first body paragraph. Okay, there should not be introduction header. But one of the coming, let's say, mistakes that we ask students just to introduce or put their introduction header. كله اكتب لنا الجزء الأول اللي هو تحت عنوان introduction, and this, according to APA style, this should not be so, right? So you should include instead your title should be placed here, page 3.